here. So that at the ISD level, we provide a script to the locals that runs every night. So in Power School, there's a script that pulls data that runs every night. I don't know if your guys, if you guys send that directly to Illuminate, or if all of that data goes to the ISD first and then they package it up. Does anybody know?
We send it to the ISD.
Okay.
I just did a ticket.
Oh, perfect.
And sent them our NWA data and then they upload it.
How about from Power School? Do you know if the data goes from Power School to the ISD first, or does it go from Power School to the, you guys are making fun of me, right?
I don't know, I kind of thought they didn't talk very much.
No,
Yeah, I'm loaded as a teacher from a different district in Illuminate.
Yes!
Yeah, 2013.
I didn't do
So
that.
I just told her once.
Do you know?
I don't know, I know that when it was data director, it automatically updated at midnight every night, but I thought there wasn't quite as close of a connection between Power School and Illuminate.
Here's how it works in Calhoun. What we do is every district that we work with, every night, every afternoon about 4 o'clock, jobs start running in their local SIS that creates a file. We have a job that goes to each district, picks up those files, bring it into the ISD, we put it into a big database, and then we build our files and send them over to Illuminate. So that's how we do it. Some schools choose, other schools around the state will choose to send the data from Power School directly to Illuminate, and then it never goes to the ISD. We chose to have it all come through us because from a troubleshooting standpoint, it's just easier to have all data in the database to troubleshoot. So this is a great time to talk about troubleshooting process. If kids are wrong, if your account is wrong, then what's the process to get that fixed? Send in a ticket. Okay. That's what we tell our folks. Actually, what we tell our folks to do is, if you're a teacher and you find that, then you need to talk to a building or district level person, and if they can't figure out, then they send a ticket in. But if you guys have a process where you just send a ticket in, then
that's pretty simple.
Yep.
Usually they call me.
they just call you. Yeah,
I tell
right.
them to send me a ticket.
Right.
Because I don't know either.
So that's a little quick look at the help documentation. I'm not going to go over all of these pieces. If you've been to any training before, there's a dashboard that has widgets that run numbers for you. I'm not going to go into the dashboard feature too much. But at this point, we've got, I don't know, like a little bit over an hour left. Yeah.
I'm really interested in the assessments because we do SLOs in Columbia.
Okay.
And so we color code them and all that cool stuff with different standards. How do we create the assessments here? If I say I want my instructors to do a certain standard and I want to create an assessment, how do I tell Nate to create that assessment?
Is that a need that other people have? So you may not do SLOs, but what we're describing is how do we make assessments that will collect data relative to outcomes, standards, ICANN statements. Is that a need that other folks have? Because right now I'm kind of at the tipping point where it's like, we can go so many different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, whether it's SLOs or learning targets or anything, so.
Yeah. So we got some stuff we want kids to know. How do we build an assessment? Okay. Sweet. Let's do it. Yep, let's do it. Before we jump in and I show you, I was forwarding to this picture, so it doesn't matter what this assessment is. I just wanted to show you there are 23 different reports that you can get for every assessment you create. That's a lot. The trick is how do we identify the questions that we want to ask of the data and make sure that there's a report to help answer those questions. Because what a bummer it would be to make the assessment and administer it and then find out, oh, there's no report that can calculate student growth percentile, for example. If you're curious about student growth percentiles, there's no pre-built report that can do that. So this is an example, it's a screenshot of a report, and here's what was asked of me. We're going to give this math assessment, and we want a report that quickly shows us, kid by kid, how they do on addition, subtraction, backwards number sequence, number ID, structuring numbers. So to me, when we talk about SLOs or ICANN statements, that's just the stuff. That's the stuff we want kids to learn, and we hope there's a report that will categorize the data that way and then color code it. Okay? So I'd like to start with the end in mind. So this is the end result of all of this work. Getting a report that helps you do what you need to do. Yes, sir?
I like to stop, like, does it have to just be these two colors, or can you select your levels of improvement, or what's?
Give me an example. Yep, great question. Uh-oh.
Newsflash,
Newsflash, all right.
nothing new.
Let's look at, I'm trying to get a good example. The answer to your question is a quick, you can custom whatever colors you want, whatever cut points you want. If it's all up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one.
So you can customize them, like, so you can customize them for the district, or can individual teachers customize them for themselves?
What you can do, both. So at a district level, if you have the color coding, they're called performance bands in Illuminate. You can make a performance band and then share that with everybody and say, hey, this is our district performance band. Make sure that you use it for whatever. Or teachers can choose to make their own. But that's an important distinction to make sure that when we're data conferencing, is your performance band the same one that I am? Because if I see a bunch of green on yours, then is that the same that I would think? So quick example here, this is a Math Science Center assessment, 4th grade. This quickly shows, and we did all this color coding. So all these colors that are up here, we picked the colors and we picked the cut points. So it's all customizable. Now if we scroll down below, I know this is a little busy, this shows a breakout by standard. So it doesn't matter what those mean, it's just questions are tied to standards, and then the report aggregates all the points and says here's the average percent correct by standard. Now what we can do is we can also color code standard, and this is where I would say the SLOs come in. We can say, don't show the standard code, show this verbiage, and you can tell it exactly what you want it to show. And then you can set the cut points and color code from there. So that's at the standard level, and then down below it's at the question level, and then the subgroup level.
And this is a custom report that you built on one of your assessments?
Nope, this is, we built the assessment,
Yep.
teachers entered the data, and then this just does it.
Everything else.
It's like witchcraft, it just does it. Yep.
I want a nice student, my student.
Yep. So this is the overview page.
Right.
And if we wanted to, we could go here into reports. And these are all of the pre-built reports. So if you're familiar with Data Director, when you give an assessment, there are all these reports over on the right side that just worked, well, most of the time. But these are the 23 reports that automatically color code and do some stuff. And you're exactly right. Some have student names, some aggregate. So for example, if we wanted to look at this matrix report, I'll click the little eye so you can get a picture as to what it looks like. This is where it will show each individual kid name and then how do they perform within each question. Instead of questions, it could be the standards. You can, and all of this runs based on drop down. So we can pick a drop down menu. Run this for my 3rd hour kids, aggregate it by standard or by question. It's all based on just drop down choices.
So how do we do it?
Yep. How do we do it?
It looks fantastic.
It does. Okay. You guys ready? Okay. If you don't capture everything I say, that means you're human. Where can you go for help docs? Yep. Control panel, lessons and videos. You can search for create assessment. Okay. All right. Now, how do you guys learn best? Do you want me to show you a little bit, then pause, and then you work, or do you want to follow step by step with me?
Go a little bit.
Go a little bit, stop? All right, cool. So the first couple steps. Once I log in, I'm going to click this assessments. And I'm going to click create a new assessment. Let's just go there. I'm just going to show you 2, and then we'll stop and talk. You guys good? Are you fast? Okay. All right. This page is asking you what type of assessment do you want to build. We've got on the fly, which this is Illuminate's, this is like the Billy Mays OxyClean Wow the Audience feature. This is where you quickly build an assessment and you get a bubble sheet and you scan it, like your self-checkout at Meijer or something, and it beeps and it collects the data. On the fly, I don't do a lot with. I go right to the manual/hybrid assessment. So I'm going to go to the manual hybrid assessment because I have a test. I have a test that I have created that's near and dear to my heart, that I care about, and I want to put into Illuminate. I don't want to use the item bank because I don't want to comb through the item bank and look at all their items. I just want to basically create my own assessment here in the system. So the next question is, how many questions? I'm going to say 10. I'm going to click OK. And then I basically have an information page where I get to enter the title, the subject, basic information about my assessment. So go ahead. You only have to type in a title. So go ahead and do that right now. And then when you're done, go ahead and click save.
Mine will let me click into,
This number of questions may only contain numbers and cannot exceed 999.
Ooh, cool.
oh.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
So if we create a quiz, test, whatever we're creating in our assessment, can it be done digitally, like the test actually done digitally, or does it have to be both? Okay.
Yep. Was it the classroom exchange, Nate? We were working at that classroom exchange
Yes.
project? All right, okay. When you said digitally.
Teacher exchange, yes.
Yes. Okay, the only thing I want to say about this one is show in student and parent portal. What this means is if your school ever turns on the student portal for kids to take an assessment in, and if you click yes to that, the kids are going to be able to see the assessment in that portal. So that may be a good thing, it may not be a good thing. It all depends on how you want to use the portal. What we like in Calhoun is we usually pick yes to that, because even if the kid doesn't take the test digitally and online, the kid can still log into the portal and look at their scores and see what standards went well, what standards didn't go well, and then what resources could I use for next steps. So just want to be clear that that is an option. I'm going to go ahead and click yes because I want the kids to be able to see it when they log into the portal. Any other questions about this screen? Pretty straightforward. You will have to discern as a district what's your naming convention for tests. If somebody names it 1617 Algebra 1, Chapter 1 pretest, and then somebody else names it quadrilaterals, that might be an issue. And I will tell you that if you're going to use this for any kind of evaluation, you want to know what's the name of the test to look at, because there's going to be a lot in there that'll be shared with you. I'm going to go ahead and click save. What this screen is asking is, hey, what's the correct answer? What's the correct answer? You can do both multiple choice or rubric scored items in the system. So for my example test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say questions 1 through 8 are multiple choice, and then questions 9 and 10 are rubric. So here's how it works. Question 1, the correct answer is A. Question 2, B, and I'm hitting tab by the way. That's how you do multiple choice questions. And nobody's looking at me weird. Nobody's freaking out, because this is where people sometimes relate. Well, how does the kid know the question? Oh, sorry, Nick. I wasn't trying to.
I'm looking up here, okay, what do I click on for the question?
Anybody want to answer? So we're not typing the question in. We're not recreating the assessment. This is it.
So
It's a bubble sheet. Yeah, all we're making here is an answer document. Yep. So you would give the kid the paper copy or it would be uploaded online, the kids can get it online, and they would look at it, and then they would basically click or bubble in their